welcome back to the garage, everyone. All right, today I'm not sure what we're going to do. It may be just a hodgepodge of things here for this weekend's video, but we're going to give it a shot anyway. So let's break it down and let's see where we're at here. So the pile over here is a little bit lessened here. So I've got two big pieces, the upper and lower control arms out of the way. I started cleaning those up. Still haven't ordered parts yet. Well, I take that back. I did order upper and lower ball joints from Napa today. They should be in the store. I ordered them locally, so I've been searching high and low for parts and haven't really found the best deal yet. And still got these things over here to clean up. So the lower control arm, we got that broke down, got the ball joint out, got the bushings out. And I've got a little bit of video footage of that with a cell phone that I'll put right here. All right, pardon the heater. It's a little chilly in the shop here. So anyway, if you've never taken the ball joint out of a lower control arm, really at the factory they rivet these things in place here, okay? So you got a rivet here and a rivet here, and you had this dome shape here, which was the head of the rivet. Actually, that's probably the bottom end where they crunched it down. Anyway, the flat part, or the top part of the rivet, was right here. I've already drilled that one out, obviously. I just got through cutting the dome part off here, and you can see the other part right here. So I should be able to center tap right in there. You can see the remnants of the rivet after I cut the head off. You see that circle down inside there? I should be able to take a center tap punch and hit that real quick and make a mark, and then take a more rounded blunt punch, one that's about yay wide, and just drive that rivet right on out. So we'll see how successful I'm going to be in the next couple of minutes. All right, I didn't figure it'd be that easy. I went ahead and lopped off the end very carefully with the cutoff blade. Just eased it on, just barely skimmed the surface of the control arm, and you can see where the rivet is, right? The depressed portion of it there. That was after I took the center punch and I tapped it right here. You can see where the rivet is starting to recede downward that way. So instead of coming out this way, it's easier to go back that way. So anyway, so I'm going to keep on tapping and see where we go. Well, nothing is ever as easy as it first seems. So after I center punched that rivet and tapped on it a few times, it wasn't budging. So I went ahead and got a drill bit out. I don't know how big that is. Maybe about 1/4 of an inch, something like that. 3/16 maybe. It's about 1/4. And you want to get down in the center. You don't want to screw up and drill into your control arm here. So I got a hole all the way through it. And hopefully we should be able to tap that on out of there now. Cross your fingers. Oh man, he's a fighter. Well, let's see what happens now. All right, so after taking that nut off there and pounding on this ball joint a good bit, I was able to make this end of the rivet release from this side, and I started pushing out over here, and I started tapping it down with my punch, but instead of pushing the rivet out, it started bending the arm. So if you think you got this end of the rivet off, you've sadly mistaken. And this whole process is really quite simple if you follow these easy steps. All right, one more light tap with a hammer and a punch, and it's it's almost out. Why is it still there? What are you doing to me? There we go. Easy as pie. Lower ball joint removal brought to you by Impalaman's Garage. All right, so next step, we're going to take this bar out of the control arm. We're going to need to take the rubber off either end. I'm going to do that with a razor blade real quick. Just slice this end off, and this little bit of rubber here and over there, and that'll give us enough room to start tapping this arm out one end. All right, with the application of heat from your MAP gas torch, apply heat to the rubber on either end on the bushings. Get your drill, break 8 or 10 drill bits off, heat up the rubber, drill out the rubber, and you end up with a situation like this. All right, no bushings. and you have a big long shaft that's stuck in there with no rhyme or reason on, you know, how to get it out. That didn't take any time at all, really. So I went ahead and hammered out the sleeve around this bushing on this end, not the end with the double bolt. And once you get that out of there, that slides in there like that. And there you go, your rod is out. All right, so let me go through the same exercise. Basically, just going to cave this in a little bit with a punch, hammer on it, and put a few cuts here and there, cave it in, and then tap it the rest of the way out with the hammer. Well, all right, there you go. One lower control arm on a C3 Corvette, completely torn down. And that was just a bit of a dawdle, really. It was no issue whatsoever. Didn't really feel like breaking out the crapola press. Doesn't really work all that well. And just went to town on it with the hammer and the cold chisel and the cutoff tool and all that jazz. Just did it the old-fashioned way. Just manned up on it and knocked it out. So let's go ahead and get this thing cleaned up. And here's the upper control arm. We took this one apart already and started cleaning it up. Kind of screwed this one up a little bit. This hole right here is elongated. I've drilled it out in the wrong location. Oh well. So anyway, it's supposed to look like that. So here just shortly, I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and correct this little problem. I'm going to put a piece of metal underneath that. I'm going to weld that up, and then we'll get it cleaned up and get that looking like it's supposed to. So we're going to repair that here in a few minutes. Got my upper and lower control arm bushings from Energy Suspension all ready to go whenever we do finally get around to finish cleaning these up, and the other two that are sitting over there. I've already started cleaning up parts. The ones I've cleaned up, got them in a new baggie right here, separated from the others, but I've got a long way to go. And I've got some stuff over here soaking in the evaporust. That's kind of an ongoing process. But I tell you what, the thing that's been bugging me the most is fixing this upper control arm. Let's go ahead and do a little welding and see if we can't make this thing right. All right, got a little bar stock here. I think this is 3/16, and that is pretty much, I think, a perfect match for that. I just need to cut a little sliver and get a magnet and stick it underneath there and then start filling that in. It'll give something to, you know, weld to, and I can kind of grind this down on the back. There's nothing on back here that's going to interfere with the ball joint anyway, because the 3 bolt heads or rivet heads are going to stick out anyway, so that's really not important. I could probably just leave it on there. So let's go ahead and start cutting. Let's see how this goes. Let's see, kind of guesstimate at that. It'll be fine. Let's go ahead and get some hair and protection on here. All right, I think we're ready. Cover the eyes, cover the ears. Probably need some gloves. Nah, it'll be fine. All right, I got a little sliver there. I'm just making this up, folks, so just, you know, don't get bent out of shape. There we go. That ought to do pretty good there. Got a little neodymium magnet here. Let's see what we can do. And get a tack into it. All right, we got the welder cranked up here. Well, let's see what we can do with this thing. You always want to test your auto darkening helmet, the batteries. You don't want to be welding without fresh batteries in your helmet. That, you know, ask me how I know. It's not good, man. All right. Let's see, did we even hit the piece of metal, or did we just weld the control arm? That could be it. Didn't even hit it. The piece I put down in there, that is. Let me turn up my wire speed. Put it on 4. See what that does. You know, that was just a stupid idea. I didn't really need that at all. Let's go ahead and fill in the backside. Sip of coffee. Tasty. Let me hit that with the wheel here for one moment. Just to, let me clean that off a little bit. Yeah, that'll work. I think that'll do fine. I'm just going to ground that down a little bit. Let's see, where's my ears at? There they are. All right, let me go get a little die grinder and clean that up a little bit. See how well this works. It's too big. A small bit would probably work better on a drill. That's about as good as the original one. All right, there you go. Repaired control arm rivet hole. That kind of tickles me. That's all right. So, in other words, I wanted to take the flat spot out so, you know, we could get down there with a drill bit and drill it properly and wouldn't, you know, move around on us. So, anyway. And this control arm needs a fair amount of cleanup still. I want to get the rest of the rust off of it and do a Eastwood metal prep or a Pour 15 metal prep. You know, the whole 9 yards, prime, paint, everything like that. Make it look really nice. So anyway, so I'll do more cleanup of this off camera. Let's move on. All right, so the first item that I cleaned up on the Corvette suspension was the driver's side spindle. I've already got all the rust off of it, got it treated with self-etching primer. Got a nice gloss black from Duplicolor on there, and I must say it turned out really well. Got the spindle covered up with tape. And we got the dust cover cleaned up, de-rusted and painted, as well as the brake caliper mounting bracket. And I think you'd agree those look pretty good. Painted them the same way as I did with the rear brakes. And here is the shaft from the upper control arm. Same treatment, looks really good. And all my hurriedness, I forgot to put that cover on the bottom side of the tank. Basically, it goes between the spare tire carrier and the gas tank. So I have to take that back off, reinstall that, and I've got to clean it up with Super Clean first, but whatever. All right, let's see what we can do here. I might as well go ahead and video the tear down of this lower control arm. I still got the spindle attached, but I think we should just tap it off of there, hopefully. That rascal's on there. There we go. All right, we can set this aside and clean that up later. All right, let's do the ball joint first. That's the most unpleasant part of this whole thing. So, all right, let's see. Let's go ahead and center tap and drill that out. Gotta find the center. There's so much dirt on it, I can hardly see it. I bet you can see my bald spot though, or actually bald head. There ain't no spot. Yes, I could put it in a vise. I just don't want to right now. There we go. That's good enough. Well, it pays to have a drill bit that actually works. So let's do that. We'll give this one a try. Almost there. How well did we do? Look at that. Came out in the head of that rivet. That's good. We just want to weaken it, really. That's what we want. We just want to weaken it. Because after we lop the heads off and start tapping on it, it should move. Yeah, my bit is starting to spin in my chuck. Tighten it up a little bit. Started to make a weird noise. A little more. Alright. Alright, let's go ahead and lop the head off on the outside here. I was trying to be careful and not take out any material on the control arm, obviously. And once you do that, you can see kind of a circle there where the rivet is. And we should, in theory, be able to kind of depress that in a little bit. Why don't you put it in a vise? Oh, I don't want to. It's over there. Yeah, there we go. You can see the rivet is starting to depress through the hole, so that's progress there. Yeah, that's fine. Let's just go do the other one. Cut it off. I'm going to put a little bit of weld right there. That was a screw and a half, wasn't it? See if we can get that rivet tapped out of there. You don't want to tighten your control arm too tightly in the vise because, you know, it's delicate, sort of, in my mind. Man, these lower control arm ball joint rivets are tough customers, man. Let me tell you what. There we go. Nothing like a regular old drill with a wire on it. Cordless drills are fine, but until they're not. And let's just give it a tap. Tap, tap, tap. Yeah, it's starting to come on out of there. Basically, we're just ripping the rivets apart. So. You need a little help, buddy? Yeah, I thought so. There we go. See, it didn't take any time at all. And that goes in file 13 over there. All right, I got a little collateral damage here. Got a little cut with my grinder. I'll run a little bead. It's not bad, it's just enough to make me mad. So I'll just run a little bead on that and grind it down a little bit. And after we paint it, you'll never know I screwed it up. All right, let's get this bar out of here next. Always use the proper tool for the job. That's been on there a long time. All right, let's put this in the, I'm gonna go over here and put this in the passenger side bag. I did the other one with my cell phone, but I figured I'd just painstakingly go through the process with you. This is not anything glamorous. I'm not using smart techniques. I'm just using basic techniques. And, you know, we're just gonna get it done. This bushing here is still pretty good, really. But it's gonna get replaced no matter what. There we go, we got down in there that time. Always cut away from you, you know? We don't want any razor blade accident. That's bad. one lower control arm torn down. That whole process took, what, like 5 minutes? So I did screw it up right there. I cut too deeply there. I have a little nick there, so I'll just go with the welder, fill that in and sand it down. You'll never notice it. It'll be fine. And I got another nick over there. Anyway, I got in a hurry, so I screwed that up. I was just trying to get this done. All right, it's Friday night. I think I'm gonna call it a night, and we'll be back at it tomorrow morning. We're gonna have our new ball joints from Napa, so you guys stick around for that. All right, there we go. There's a finished product. That's the upper control arm for the driver's side with the repaired hole and everything. So, but anyway, we're gonna have to drill those out anyway. So let's go ahead and see if we can't make us a new control arm here. All right, we got Napa El Cheapo brand ball joints. And we got urethane control arm bushings from Energy Suspension. And the uppers, let's see, I'm missing a shaft. I looked around for ball joints all over the place. I mean, you can get them in a lot of different places, right? You can pay a whole lot of money, or you can pay a little less. So, and I think probably the closest ball joint you could find that's made in America is probably made in Mexico, which is fine. But I just got kind of fed up with the whole process. The ball joints that they had on Rock Auto, I was going to order a bunch of stuff from them, but the shipping was screwing me. It was like, okay, yeah, just because you clicked on that one thing, now it's all going to come from a different warehouse, and we're going to charge you $13 for this, $13 for that, $13. Anyway, it's going to cost me over $100 for shipping. Like, whoa. So I eliminated the ball joints from the order, picked them up locally, and then cobbled together everything into the Rock Auto shopping list, and I had one $13 shipping charge. So there you go. That's my decision-making process. The upper arm has a smaller hole in the bushing than the lower ones do. Don't screw it up. If you tried to put the, see, that's the lower one. It clearly, doesn't fit. So, all right, so I got a little paint on here. Let me go ahead and sand that off real quick. I'll be right back. All right, I got the end of the shaft sanded down. Got ourselves a little super lube there. Let's see what we're gonna do here. I think we'll go ahead and put the bushings and the shaft in first. So I got a little paint on the inside of these bores, so probably ought to do something about that. I don't reckon we need paint on the inside of that. It needs to be, we'll just go on down there. It needs to be good and rusted for the next guy that rebuilds them again in, another 45 years. Long after I'm gone. We're just curators, you know what I'm saying? We're all just curators in this world. We just kind of, you don't really own anything. Well, you do. Kind of at the same time you don't, You're just kind of like a curator, Let's not get too philosophical. Let's move on. I know. Let's put this in here. Hey, look at that. Step one complete. All right, let's see. We need a hammer. There's one over there. I don't know how easy these are going to go in or not, so we're just going to see how it goes here. I'm just going to try to tap them in. I don't know if that's going to work or not. We're just going to find out. All right. That was pretty silly. Wasn't using my brain. You're supposed to press the shell in first and then push the, that part in. So, disaster avoided, I should be able to tap this in there. Let's see if we can do that. Yeah, that'll work out. And no, I'm not bending anything. I'm not hitting it that hard. I'm just tapping on it. All right, we're all the way down. Thankfully, the rubber is going to cover up that. Ha ha ha! Now, put this in here. And let's do the other one the same way. That'll be fine. That kind of tickles me. And lets out frustration at the same time. Now watch this knot fit in here. Oh, there it goes. Okay. I'm going to put some grease inside this poly bushing and inside the sleeve. Why? Because, you know, it just makes sense, doesn't it? This shouldn't be all that bad here. Let's use this big washer here. There we go. Yeah, that works. Man, yeah. Hey, look at that. Hi, we did the other one at the same time. How about that? All right, that's good. Any remaining bit that needs to be compressed will get compressed whenever we bolt it to the car. All right, speaking of bolting it, we're going to get the end bolts and the washers. Let me go grab those out of the evaporust. I'll be right back. All right, let's get our hardware out. I'd forgotten that I'd cleaned it up earlier. Yay, good for me. Let's see. Dang, that's the wrong bolt. I'll take that back. All right, found my bolts finally. I had one in the good bag that I'd already cleaned up and one I hadn't cleaned up. It's whatever, it just doesn't matter. So, just what a fiasco, anyway. I'm not sure what these are supposed to be tightened down to, but for right now, we're just gonna hand tighten them. And let's go ahead and put the ball joint in next. But, you know, looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. Looks way better than it did, doesn't it? And let's see, there's our ball joint. A little baggie of hardware here. There we go. These bolts go in there, but they don't go in there, so let me go find the appropriate drill bit for that. All right, I've got a 5/16 inch bit. These are metric bolts. They are 8 millimeter by 1.25 on the gauge over here. And they're basically the same width as a 5/16 inch bolt. So they're 0.306 with the caliper, and 5/16 is a 0.312, so, you know, we're good. We're good to go. All right, let's drill the one we didn't screw up first and see how that goes. Yeah, how about that? That was easy. I believe we have to take this rubber boot off here, because, you know, that don't go through the hole. Come here, little rubber boot. There we go. All right. Man, like a glove. This is easy. All right, there we go. Now, let's get our boot on there. Keep the little dusties out. There we go. And let me get the appropriate sized socket for that. I don't know what it is, but I do know that it's going to be metric. So let's assume that it is a 14. How about that? Let's try that. Man, you got to be good to be doing this kind of stuff. I don't know what the torque rating is on these things. But that's pretty good right there. I'll look up the torque rating in the book here after a while, and I'll torque that up the way it's supposed to be. So, all right, let's get our nut on there. Put our cotter pin in there loosely. Let's go ahead and put the new Alamite grease. I call it Alamite because that's like the old-fashioned word for it. It's like, I think that was the name of the company that invented it back in the early 20th century or something. Anyway, all right, there you go. One upper control arm completely rebuilt. with polyurethane bushings and a new ball joint all cleaned up. There you go. All right, we've got the lower control arm over here. Let's go ahead and get this little guy squared away. Come on out of there now. Don't give me a hard time. The other one came out of there. How come you can't come out of there? Have to have a word with energy suspension. Now we can get started. And let's go ahead and gracefully pound these into place. Well, it seems that me putting it into the vise and, you know, showing it who was boss helped out a little bit, because I just got through tapping on it and I was able to get it down there to get it seated properly. So there you go. All right, so let me go ahead and get the other side in, and I'll be right back. All right, nothing like doing things twice. Learn how to do them. So you can't get this shaft in here without, well, anyway, you have to do it like this. Let's see, that's the front. This goes towards the front. Let's make sure of that. Let me look over here on the car. Yep, got 2 holes there. Yep. That's the front there. So, all right. So the only way to do that is that. So now I boogered that up a little bit. So let me get the grinder after that and fix that screw up. All right, good as new in my mind. Can we do it properly this time? I don't know. We're going to find out. Yep, all right. Let's do the other side. I reckon that'll do. All right, let's go ahead and put our bushing in. Hopefully that won't be too dramatic. Nice and easy, just like gravy. At least something's easy. Yeah, that's kind of weird there. Not sure what's going on with that. Why do we have all that play right there like that? What's that about? That ain't supposed to be like that, is it? Let me go look at the other bushing. All right, so I grabbed the old bushing, and it's actually the same length as this one. I mean, I meant the inner sleeve. I just wanted to see if it was the same length, and it is. So I guess I should have looked at the way the thing was put together more closely. So. I guess when you tighten this thing down on either end, this whole thing's gonna tighten up real good. So I guess that's the case. Because this is the same length. Here's the one that goes on the other side. You know. All right, so just trying to get them equidistant in there. That poke out there and that poke out there. That's about the same. I guess that's right. You know. Tell you what, we're gonna call it good, and let's go ahead and move on to the ball joint. Lower ball joint. Lower ball joint on these cars they use the same lower ball joint as big Chevrolets did in the 60s. But Corvette kept using the same ball joint all the way up to 82, apparently. What is that? Don't know. Got one of those and a regular bolt. So, yeah, whatever. I just don't know. They come with lock nuts, a couple of lock washers, a couple of different size nuts. This is the other end here. This is for the... Why do I have 2 big nuts? Boy, no, don't answer that. See, I do. See? Why'd they give me 2 of them? I don't know. Don't need to. This one doesn't even fit anything. This one over here. That don't fit that. Couldn't tell you. All right, so this thing goes in here like that. Look at that, like a glove. Do I have to drill this? Let's see. Yeah, no. That's what's weird, man? Why do I have? What in the hell is going on with this thing right here? What is this? Maybe it's only supposed to go on one side. Let's try not to worry about it too much. What is going on with this? All right, let me figure this out. The bolt holes don't quite line up. Not sure what's going on with that. My thinking is this is not seated fully, so I'm going to try to tighten it down. That one, a little off. I can work with it. This one here is a lot more off. So I got to drill this thing out to make it fit? Man, that's pretty sad. All right, I ain't doing it. The uppers are fine, but these lowers just don't fit. And they are not going on this car. However, they will be going back to the store. I'm not going to drill the ball joint out to make it work. That's just stupid. That's pretty disappointing. So Napa does have a far superior line, but they're like 80 bucks a piece. These are $30 a piece. So, all right, folks, I think I'm gonna wrap it up. It's been a long, arduous weekend. I'll be honest with you. I fought these control arms for several hours. They look good though. I screwed up a couple things, had to redo them. That's all right. Got the shaft in this one and got that process down. These lower ball joints are junk. I'm gonna take these back to Napa in the morning, and I don't think they'll give me any grief about it. Can't recall. I should have the receipt over here in the bag. Yep. There it is right there. So, all right, we'll take them back. I'll keep the uppers, and I'll go get different lowers. I'll probably get the Moog or something like that. So anyway, during the upcoming week, during the evening time, I'll go ahead and start cleaning up those other control arms and start putting them together off camera. I've got a lot of cleanup work to do still. I got to clean up the spindle. There's all kind of parts, all these nuts and bolts. The front end of this car was nasty. It's just ridiculous. All right, folks, we're going to wrap it up for this video. I appreciate you guys stopping by the channel. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you'd like to be notified whenever I release a new video, don't forget to click that little bell down below. You guys have a good one, and remember to enjoy restoring your classic C3 Corvette. And don't take any junk parts. All right, I bet you thought I was going to leave you hanging, didn't you? All right, so went down to our one of our favorite part suppliers and picked up the, well, you know who it is, right? So picked up the Precision line from O'Reilly, and guess what? Like a glove. Fits like a glove. So our control arm is going to be fully rebuilt, and we're going to use Precision lower ball joints from O'Reilly. All right, there you go. Problem solved.